that's what she told me she was going to do a class.
All right. So you guys are okay with taking it at a slower pace today?
Oh, yeah.
Are you? Oh, you are? Yeah?
Today, yes. After Sunday, I was like,
How do your arms feel after that?
No, my lower back has been killing me.
Okay.
That's why I didn't come.
Yeah.
I thought that's going to hurt my lower back.
I'm getting a massage today, actually.
Good. Were you focusing on engaging the belly?
Doing that? I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought I did.
I know it's so hard. You think that you are. The teachers are always like, suck it in.
Yes,
You're like,
or your tongue, or your...
Yeah.
You know, like,
I even need to be reminded of that too. Trust me.
well, it's so easy not to. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's easier not to, even though it's bad for you.
And you're focusing on so many different things, really. Okay. I feel like a child with this hat on, but since I've had enough sun for this week for a little bit, and
No, I believe in cats when you're outside.
yeah, yes. Okay, so we're just gonna start an easy pose. If you guys are cool with taking it a little bit slower today, then that's what we're gonna do. So whatever leg you normally have on the bottom, switch it up. Just wanna make you a little bit uncomfortable still. Yeah. And then let's have the palms facing up so we can just kind of feel the sun, feel the breeze. There's going to be lots of noises happening around us. We never know when a train will be coming by, but that's kind of the fun part of being outside. We get to be in the present moment and kind of see when something does happen, or as we go through the practice today, what are we attached to? What expectations do we have for ourselves? Or what do we have an aversion to? What are we willing to try? What are we just have an automatic, not really happy about that, you know? So sitting nice and tall, let's just focus on the breath for a moment. One of the biggest parts of a yoga class is coming together with the breath. Second would be the relaxation at the end, which is why we're all here, right? So just kind of feel on your inhales, the belly expand a little bit, and then that inhale travels up to the chest as you expand the lungs. And then exhale completely. We're not forcing the breath to come and go, we're just guiding the breath. There's a quote by Theodore Redke that I wanted to read. I learn by going where I have to go. And so whether there are obstacles in our path or the path is smooth, we're going to learn something about ourselves either way. So I want to focus on that as we're on our mats today. The obstacles in our path are the path. Keep that in the front of your mind. We'll take a few more breaths here. And then one really, really deep cleansing breath, just fill the lungs completely. Separate the lips, exhale. Go ahead and blink the eyes open. Take your hands to your knees just to help the knees together. And we're gonna have the knees facing the right. So you guys are going to be opposite of me. Good morning. You're completely fine. Bring your right hand behind you, and then your left hand is going to be touching the right knee. Inhale, always lengthen first before you twist. So lengthen through the crown of the head. And then exhale, come into a twist. So you're going to use the left hand to kind of guide you and guide that right shoulder back. The left sitting bone will be lifted. And as you're in this twist, see if you can relax the jaw, relax the shoulders, and relax the belly. Having that right hand behind you to support you and lift you. And take one more breath here. And then exhale, come back to center. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So flip the knees. You're gonna be familiar with some of these postures. So then I'll just make you do a headstand at the end. I'm just kidding. I'll never make you do anything. Left hand behind you, right hand to left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften into the twist. So you might even push this right hip forward to help you bring that left shoulder back. That way you can feel it in the leg, the right leg. Feel this spinal twist. Softening the belly so the organs can get a nice little massage and a nice wring out. One more breath here. And then exhale, come back to center. We're going to do a couple, well, let's just go to our hands and knees here. I was just thinking this is so much better than the gazebo when it comes to hands and knees though, because it's not concrete. All right, so anytime that we are putting pressure on our hands, we wanna make sure the fingers are spread, that we're pressing the ball mounds of the big fingers, that our wrist creases are not like this or this, but just directly parallel to the front of the mat. We're gonna do our Beetleasana here. Toes are uncurled. Inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the spine, and lift the gaze. And then exhale, we're gonna round, push the tops of the feet and the hands and drop the head. You're gonna keep doing this with the pace of your breath. Speaking of hands-on adjustments, we did a couple yesterday. Don't tell anyone. I wore a mask. So as you're arching, push the legs towards the face and really separate the shoulder blades. We're gonna do like 2 more rounds of this. Does it? Okay, then definitely, is it flared up right now? Then do not, so you don't wanna stretch during a sciatica flare-up. So anything that is stretching in that area, you're gonna skip that. Yeah, absolutely, yep. Wait for it to calm down. But when it comes to the pigeon poses and stuff like that, well, we'll talk after. It's an actual diagnosis of sciatica, right? Okay. Okay, okay. Yeah, don't do it if it's hurting. Go ahead and come back to a flat back, because we'll do other things like this balancing pose that should be okay, but if it's not. All right, so bring the right leg behind you, extend the right leg behind you, kick all your stuff off the mat like that. Extend the left arm out in front of you and stare straight down at the mat. So we wanna keep the neck just an extension of the spine, keep it neutral. And then the left bicep will be lined up with the left ear. And then go ahead, lift from the inner thigh, lift the right leg up. And then we don't want to have this dip in the belly. Protect the lower back, engage the lower belly, navel to spine. Toes are pointing down. Extend out through the fingertips. See if you can take another breath here. And we're actually on the next exhale gonna bring knee to elbow. So keep looking down and very slowly arch, bring the knee to the elbow. Yep, just crunch it together and then extend it out. One more time. Good. Yay, and then extend it out and then bring the knee and the hand back down. That was really good. All right, other side, extend the left leg out. And again, be sure that you are watching your hands here. Otherwise, it's gonna hurt your joints. So the wrist is gonna be a little bit in front of the shoulder here. Extend the right arm, lift the left leg, lift from the inner thigh, and then engage the belly, lower belly in. Trying to get a nice flat back. Kicking out through the heel. Exhale, knee to elbow. Nice controlled, mindful movements. Inhale, extend. One more time, exhale, knee to elbow. Good, bring it back to the mat. Let's go into child's pose. So, and you can come into this pose at any time through the practice today. Knees go to the edges of the mat, sit on the heels, extend the arms out in front of you. I can't bring my forehead to the mat because of this bill, but you can bring your forehead to the mat. And then the knees are separated, touching the edges of the mat. So then your belly can hang forward. You can kind of let gravity push the sitting bones down towards the heels. And if this hurts your knees at all, then shift your weight forward to the forearms and you'll do it that way. Take one more breath here. And then inhale, lift the head, and we're gonna walk the hands to the right. So walk the hands to the right enough where you can feel an expansion in the left side of the body, maybe feeling it down into the hip area. And then soften. Which part is funny? I love it.
She's behind me and she's laughing. I don't like that. I'm totally laughing at me because I'm looking and going, oh, so that's what you mean.
Inhale, lift, and go ahead and walk your hands to the other side.
Time in the back. Troublemaker.
So,
Going all the way to the
yep, all the way to the left until you can't go anymore, until you feel a stretch on the right side of the body, and then soften towards the ground. And then find your breath here. Always coming back to that slow, steady breath we were doing in the beginning. Two more breaths. Belly, chest, exhale. And then inhale, lift, come back to center. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring the knees back together. We're gonna take the right leg forward, drag it, skip it, hop it, however you gotta do it. All right, let's just stay here for a minute. Keep the hands on either side of the leg, and then can we just soften our hips forward for a minute? Yeah. It's okay if your knee goes over your ankle. So even though we're doing this runner's lunge, which most people have done before, focus on the shoulders not coming forward like this. We're always trying to squeeze that grapefruit between the shoulder blades and then have a nice long neck.
It's funny you say grapefruit.
Walnut,
Yeah, two different things.
that's way too close. No, I'm just kidding. Well, that's good because some people might be like, I am squeezing a grapefruit right here. Bring the inner edges of it. Sometimes I say pencil. Like if for teachers, I'll usually say pencil, but yeah, I don't want to kill you guys. All right, so press the front foot into the mat. We're gonna shift the hips back a little bit and then find your balance. So find a focus point, inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands together in front of the heart. I'm gonna do that one more time. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, twist to the right. We're gonna do this for Sandra because she missed our arm class. Extend the left arm to the outside of the knee. And then the right hand is gonna come behind you. So lift the chest here, guide the right shoulder back. And this left arm should be straight. Couple of breaths here. Is anyone feeling a stretch in the left shoulder? Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult to balance when your arms are like this. Go ahead, exhale, look down at your foot, bring the hands down, and then bring that right leg back. Bring the left leg forward. We're gonna do the same thing here. So starting with the runner's lunge, soften the hips forward. So even though we are using our fingertips, yeah, you can use the blocks. I have a block here, but we're not like sharing props right now. You can also use your fists if it's uncomfortable for your fingers. We'll talk about props after. Yeah. Ah, goodness. Press the front foot, shift the hips back just a little bit. Find your focus point, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, twist to the left. Bring the hands down, straighten the right arm, left arm comes behind you. And so use the leverage from your arms to kind of press the chest open, and then find your breath here. Notice where your mind is right now. If you're working on your to-do list or if you're on your mat, we all do it. Exhale, look down at your foot. Bring the hands back down to the mat. We're gonna bring the left leg back, curl the toes under, and then lift the hips up and back. So we're gonna shift the ears to the inner arms, and this is our downward facing dog. So once we're here, like keep the knees as bent as you need to. You can pedal the feet out. Walking the dog, as we say. Yeah. Curl the buttocks up to the sky a little bit more. So we're extending the spine. And then just take a look at your hands real quick. Make sure that your fingers are spread, that you're pressing the roots of the fingers into the mat. Good. Drop the head. So you could be looking between the shins. And then we're just gonna start to come to our standing postures. So slow down your walking, separate the feet to the edges of the mat, and then start to walk your hands towards your feet. And make sure the feet are really wide here because we're gonna hang forward for a moment. Always, if your hamstrings are tight, bend the knees. We wanna try to get the belly to the thighs. Drop the head, grab opposite elbows, sway a little bit left to right. Nod the head yes and no, so you know you're completely relaxing the muscles of the neck. And then release the arms, bring the fingertips lightly back to the mat. We're gonna bring the hands to the shins and inhale to lift the head. We're extending through the crown of the head. Yeah, it's gonna be like you're sticking your bum out and extending through the crown of the head, but we wanna keep a nice flat spine here. Inhale, bring your hands to the thighs. Elbows are squeezing back. And then slightly bend the knees. Inhale, bring the arms up. I have to be careful of my bill when I'm trying to come back down like this. All right, so we are in Tadasana. I've never had to so if you see me bring my arms out here, it's because of this. All right, first time doing the hat in the class. And I think the shade is actually coming more towards me, so I might be able to change that. All right, so off to one of the most difficult postures, like standing on your head. Sure, that's hard, but being still is harder for the average person, and standing evenly is even harder. So this is our Tadasana pose. We come back to it every single, well, not every single, but we kind of come back to it as a neutral before we move on to the next posture. Inner edges of the feet are parallel, so everyone can come to the front of their mats now. If you normally stand or walk like this, this will be comfortable, but I want you to bring the toes forward. Now press this part of the toes into the ground to lift the arches of the feet and to strengthen the ankles. Engage the quadriceps, so it's like you're squeezing a block between the thighs. Lift the chest, spread the collarbones, drop the hands. Chin is parallel to the ground. And then there's this thing we do called the Mula Bandha. It's just energetically lifting the deep transverse abdominal muscles to lift everything up. We'll talk about the pelvic floor some other day. That just gets really complicated. I'm still not sure where my pelvic floor is, and I've been working on it for years. All right. So next step, see if you can close your eyes. See how that feels. If it's uncomfortable, you can open the eyes. But now that your eyes are closed and we're turning off that sense of seeing what's going on around us, see if you can turn inward, bring your awareness to your feet. See if you're pressing the feet evenly, rooting into the ground. So all four corners of the feet pressing evenly. Not too much weight forward, not too much weight back. Just everything right in the middle. And then see if you can relax the arms and the shoulders, but still bring the inner edges of the shoulder blades towards each other to lift the chest. Notice how if you drop the chin a little bit, that lifts the chest also. And now evenly carry your weight through the fingertips and the feet. Kind of find that equilibrium where gravity is pulling you right to the center. And as if somebody's pulling a string through the crown of your head, helping you balance. We'll take one more breath here. Slowly blink the eyes open. We're going to move on to a couple of sun salutations. I'm going to turn sideways. We'll do it slow a couple times, and then you guys can go on your own, all right? I'll still guide you though. So start in that Tadasana, which is our mountain pose. Inhale, bring the arms up, reach up tall. And then exhale, fold, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale to look up, and then exhale, step the legs back. You can drop to your knees if you need to here, but we go right into Chaturanga, which is squeezing the elbows towards the sides of the body, evenly lowering the body to the ground. Uncurl the toes, inhale, lift to Cobra. And then curl the toes and exhale and bring the hips up and back. Going back, downward facing dog or child's pose. For 5-6 breaths, and sometimes we move with each breath. We're gonna do that again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back. Lower the body, Chaturanga. Inhale, press and lift the whole body off the ground, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So bring the hips up and back. Good. Lift the buttocks up towards the sky. Yep. Two, 3. Are you okay if I put my hand between your shoulder blades? 4. Lift the sitting bones up. 5. Inhale, look up. Get to the front of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Good. All right, our triangle pose. So bring the right and out. We're not going to use the block today because I'm just going to give you a couple of different options. So from the right hip socket, bring the right toes out. Haha, you guys thought I was going to do the other way first. All right, back foot. I know it's hard to see in the grass, but for triangle, we always want the heel lined up with like the arch. Okay. And then we drop the back heel a little bit. So we have that short, small internal rotation here. Extend the arms out in front and back. Engage the lower belly in and up. And as we take an inhale, We're gonna lift through the crown of the head, and then as we exhale, we're gonna shift the left hip back and the right fingertips forward. You already feel a lengthening in the front of the leg, yeah? Okay, bring the right hand down, hand in front of the calf muscle, left fingertips up to the sky. Now stack the shoulders or rotate the shoulder girdle open. Good. Find your breath. So we do all of these happy yoga dances, and then we have to remember to breathe. One more breath. Exhale, look down at your foot. Press the feet into the mat away from each other to help you pop up. Okay, so arms are extended still. Bring the right toes in. Bring the left toes out. Take a deep breath in. Kind of get your foundation right, so watch your back foot especially. So deep breath in, and then exhale, shift the right hip, lengthen through the left fingertips, and then tip. So putting the back of the left hand on the calf muscle here will help you rotate open. Good. How's it feel? Yeah? I just want to call you Miss De La Garza. I can't, I have such a hard time with first names still. How does it feel for you though? Okay. All right, one more breath. And Kate, you can bring your arm up closer. Yeah. Press the feet, exhale, come back to standing position. Face the toes forward, arms down, come back to Tadasana. So you can walk the feet together, you can just hop. Those little hops that we take to the, going from here to here, that's strengthening the ankles and everything too, the bones, all of that. All right, right leg up and out. Coming into a wide leg forward stance. Prasarita Padottanasana. Okay, toes are pointing forward, hands are gonna be on the hip creases. So if I say put your hands on your hips, all of you guys are gonna put them in different spots because nobody knows, like you can't put your hands on your hip sockets, So I usually go for the creases where your body bends because that's where we wanna fold forward. All right, so elbows back, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge forward from the hip creases. And then bring your fingertips down to the mat. Good. You can widen your legs a little bit. Separate the ankles a little bit more. Yeah, even more. Yeah, is that better? Okay. If your hands are flat on the mat, start to walk them towards the inner edges of the feet. If you're at fingertips, stay at fingertips. Good. Drop the head completely. I know you can. Put your hands flat. Walk them towards the arches of your feet because you're still good. Yep. Yep, you guys are good. All right, so we're gonna take this into a twist. Easy for me to say. Inhale, look up. So just look up and bring your left hand to the center of the mat or left fingertips to the center of the mat, and then take the right hand, try to open up the shoulder, bring the right fingertips up to the sky. Look, it's snowing in June. Take a breath here. Exhale, bring that right hand down, center right below the face, and then twist, bring the left fingertips up. Yep. Good. Exhale, bring that left hand down. We're gonna make the legs really strong here and bring the hands back to the waist or the hip creases. And then we're gonna press the feet into the mat, lift the sitting bones, and try to strengthen our back here by inhaling, come all the way up. Good. Go on the balls of the feet, bring the heels in. We're gonna come into a goddess pose here. Separate the feet if you need to. So we're gonna bend at the knees. So you can see my feet better. We're gonna bend at the knees. So pressing the knees open will be the thing here. Okay, 20 more minutes. This is yoga. I'm just kidding. Inhale, bring the arms up. We're gonna exhale into goddess arms. So lower and open. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time, inhale up. Exhale down. Go down, down, down. I saw that, Dawn. Stand up. Bring the toes in, come back to your Tadasana. Bring the right foot back. So some of you are doing the practice of prayer hands. Yeah, so do that if this is part of your practice. Otherwise, grab the elbows behind your back. Your feet are gonna be railroad tracks. So actually, you all have a really good stance here, yes. Right toes are pointing up towards the corner. Take a look at your knee really quick, just see what direction it feels like going today. We wanna engage the quadriceps to keep that knee lined up over the toes. Inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale, hinge forward. Keep the front leg straight. If you stop right here, that's completely fine. If you can go further, go further. Wherever your hamstrings tell you to stop is where you stop. Shift your weight to the back foot. And then even out the pelvis. So back leg is straight and strong. Lower the right hip a little bit, Kate. And you're gonna deepen the left hip crease, yeah. Just stay right there if you're good. Press the feet away from each other and pop up. Technical yoga term, popping up. We're gonna go to the back of the mat. Keep the arms and just kind of switch your feet. You'll have to adjust the feet a little bit. Inhale, lift. You can cross your thumbs, Sandra, and that'll bring your hands closer together, yeah. It's good, okay. Exhale, fold. Remember, we're not just relying on the front foot. Shift your weight to the back foot as well. Try to keep the left hip down and the right hip up. That's the challenging part. Keep the shoulders back. Yeah, you guys look great. Take another breath here. Press the feet away from each other. Inhale, come up. And then you can flip around and come back to Tadasana. We're gonna move on to balancing. We'll just do a couple different versions of Vrikshasana or tree pose today, okay? So if you have a hard time balancing on your mat, go into the grass so you can kind of feel the grass more. But we're gonna start by shifting our weight to the left leg, lifting the right heel, focus on something on the ground and try to just hear my voice guide you through it. So if you feel okay here, see if you can go a little higher or higher. If your knee doesn't go above the pelvis, then I want you to stay down here and open the knee. Another option, if this is not your first time doing tree pose, half lotus, grab the foot, okay? The rest of us will stay here. And if you feel good here, you can bring your hands together in front of your heart. If you want to try to take it a little further, you can bring the arms up. Lift the chest. And take a couple of breaths. Toes can stay on the ground. This is tree pose. And this is where I'm going to stay. I'm going to let you guys go. And I'm going to be quiet for a few breaths and you come out of it when you're ready. When you're ready, close the knees, straighten the leg. Good. See, whenever I hear people say they can't balance and then they do tree pose and they're just like, it's so quiet that whole time. You guys did great. All right, find your tree on the other side. So what I want you to focus on this side is, even if we're right here, we have a tendency to let this hip pop out. This is where the pelvic floor comes in. Everything comes in and up. And we use the skeleton to help us balance. So find your tree on this side, whether it's up here or down here or here, yep. And then whatever you want to do with your arms. Lower belly is engaged, in and up. Have that gaze or focus point on the ground in front of us. Distractions, just like real life, right? Try to balance in real life when there's a tornado happening around you. Close the knee when you're ready. You guys could have gone on forever. I stopped you. That was really good. All right, let's come to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back. Come to your knees. Cross at the ankles and have a seat. Extend the legs out in front of you. Gosh, my pants look shiny when they're really just see-through. So whoever saw me bend over earlier, so sorry. I normally wear real yoga pants, but first of all, it doesn't really matter what you wear to yoga. And second of all, this is like my quarantine yoga clothes, and I just really enjoyed it. So sorry. All right. Big toes are gonna be together. Our Dandasana, or our four-limbed staff pose, is our in-between posture, just like the Tadasana is for our standing. Really active here. Big toes are together. We're ripping the mat apart with our legs, engaging the outer hips. If you have weak hips, you're gonna feel it here. Bring your big toes together. Yep, flex the feet. Put your hands on your thighs. If this is too much for the lower back, you can keep your fingertips back here to kind of give you a lift. Still keep the legs strong. Take another breath or two. And release. Can bounce the legs a little bit. We're gonna come into a forward fold. And same thing with the forward folds. If it's hurting for the lower back, which it has, you know, I don't really like forward folds. I'd rather stand up and fold in half. You can either bend your knees like we do standing, or you can roll up the back of your mat and lift the sitting bones, and that'll help the pelvis, okay? Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, reach forward, and then just bring the arms down. You don't have to go all the way down. If you can, that's fine. And if you're doing it with the knees bent, just kind of play with straightening the legs. You don't have to, but just play with it. Good. Shoulders back. Are you guys all feeling it in the legs here, in the back of the legs? Yeah, okay. Where do you feel it? In the hips? In your back. Does it feel like a stretch, or does it feel like too much? Okay. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release. Bend the right knee, drop it out to the side. We're gonna forward fold on the leg here. This helps us a little bit, and tell me where you feel it in your back here. Inhale, lengthen, flex the foot. Exhale, reach forward. Lead with the chest, lead with the heart. And keep the shoulders back. I hate to break it to you, but I've been doing yoga for 20 years, and this is still as far as I can go. So just to give you something to I have so many people that are more flexible than me, although this is a little bit more accessible than both legs, for sure.
Remember that substitute at the Y? Were you there? And she's a really big gal. She's like, she can go down on the floor like crazy.
Yeah.
Like no one's.
Yep.
She's like,
Inhale, come up. So I want to say something about that, because sometimes it's more dangerous to do yoga if you are too flexible, because then your body is used to being hypermobile, and then you're really like ruining your joints. So it's almost better to come to a yoga class tight, honestly. Yeah, really, because yeah, I mean, because it's not like a performance, right? It is to kind of line up the body and heal things. So yeah, I've heard so many, like, she's been teaching yoga for a long time too, but that's what people would always say. She's really good. She's super flexible too. Like,
well, it's so discombobulating because you always think yoga teachers look like you.
I know.
She looks more like Lizzo.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome.
Yeah. We need to see. I think Lizzo does yoga too.
Does she?
Yeah. All right, let's do the other side. Bring the knee in, straighten it, and then bring the left knee out to the side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. that is something I guess that is not in my favor. I try to get everyone to like, yes, you can do yoga, you can do yoga, you can do yoga. And they're like, yeah, you're going to say that. I always have Kate, she's a blonde-haired white girl teaching a yoga class, of course.
Tell my friend Jennifer when you meet her, she'll say, I teach yoga, and you'll be like, of course you do.
Inhale, come all the way up. Bring the soles of the feet together. But people get surprised though that I'm actually not as flexible. I mean, I came to yoga not for the performance, but for the like bad back pain, super bad back pain. And I was an emotional mess too. So really, all right. So here, if you can grab your ankles, try to get the heels as close to the sitting bones as possible. Shoulders back, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, keep the back and the spine long for the first round. Should feel it on the inner thighs. And then inhale, come up. This is my favorite part because rounding my back is like my favorite thing to do. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, concave everything and just let the head drop forward. Press the knees open with the elbows. Yep, hold on to the ankles. And then, yeah, wherever the elbows go, it can be on the inner thighs or wherever. And then inhale, come up. Use your hands to bring the knees together. Let's lie down on our backs. You can bring the knees up to the chest. Rock a little bit left to right. We are going to do a bridge pose here. And then a twist. And then it will be relaxation time. So as you're lying on your back, bring your heels towards your sitting bones. Shoulder blades are flat. You're looking up towards the sky, the snow in the sky. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lift the pelvis, press the heels, press the inner edges of the feet, and then interlace the fingers underneath the body and walk the shoulders towards each other. Continue to lift. Yep. So the whole spine comes off the back or off the mat. Squint the eyes because the sun is in your eyes. And let me give you some shade. Yep, exactly. And then you can go like that underneath the back and that'll help you lift a little bit higher. Yeah, press the hands towards the mat. Good. Go ahead and lower. You guys are like, yeah, stop talking now. Let me come down. All right, take a rest. We're going to do that one more time because I know you really want to. If doing the upward bow is in your practice, go ahead and do that. And Kate, you can practice that too because it is in your practice. No, it is in your practice. You don't have to do the full expression to be there. All right, so bring the feet about hip width apart. In your mind's eye, try to get the toes to be straight forward. It's hard, like the way we think our body is and the way our body wants to go is different, but I think you guys are all pretty good. And Kate, you can actually separate the feet since you're doing this. Yes, and separate your hands a little bit too. Yeah, right there. All right, take a deep breath in. Exhale, press the feet, lift the pelvis, get the whole spine and shoulder blades off the mat. Lift, lift, lift. Find your breath. I'm putting my mask on. Okay, tuck your chin. Tuck your chin and come down.
Eventually.
That's the furthest you've done. Go ahead, lower. Everyone else lower. Take a breath here to neutralize the spine first. And then go ahead and hug the knees one at a time.
If I practice dolphin, will that help too?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know, like I said, you really should text me every day. Do your dolphin.
Okay.
So then I do, because otherwise I don't really remember.
Yeah.
Can I just send you a picture of it?
How did yours feel?
My back? No, it's not doing it.
Okay, so you didn't go too far, did you? Okay, good. The rest of you, how did your back feel coming up into bridge? Did it feel good? Okay. Miss Cole, how did yours feel?
Oh, no. I said, you don't know
Oh, it felt good.
Good.
It felt like
Oh,
a pop.
Yes. The popping, yes, the popping is a good thing. Since you guys, I know some of you go to a chiropractor, you know that that's a good thing. It means your spine is mobile still. Like if you're not getting any popping, then that's worrisome because you're stuck. You're stuck. All right, let's go ahead and do a twist here. So we're gonna do a one knee twist. So hug the right knee, keep the left leg straight, and keep the toes up and active towards the sky. Grab the knee with the left hand and bring the right arm out to the side. And we're gonna take the knee and bring it all the way off the left side of the mat. Talk about cracking. Nope, it's whatever works. Your knee can go all the way down on the ground if that's comfortable. Yep. Do you want me, I need to like throw a blanket over your face or something. Okay, good. Take another breath here. Exhale, come back to center, bring the knee back up towards the sky, and then bring the foot down, straighten the leg. Other side, same exact thing. Hug the knee first, lengthen the right leg, flex the toes up towards the sky, and then go ahead, grab it with the right hand, left arm comes out like an airplane, and then draw it off the right side of the mat all the way. Yeah. You can put your hand on top of the knee and push it down. Other one, no, you had it right. Yeah. Yeah, is that good?
I know, me too. Looking at it looks like little fairies.
Are you feeling it? Okay.
Right in here.
Of course.
Awesome.
Yeah, good. And the hip too.
Do this before.
Doing it now is what matters. Oh, before running. Yeah, is that what you're talking about? Do you know how many people say that? I heard your voice. Like, or I see you, so I like stand up straighter. Okay, go ahead, come back to center. Yeah, good. I'm glad that I can have that fearful influence on people. Just kidding. As I was telling them that I threw a shoe at my husband over COVID era, I did. I threw a shoe at him, and I felt like I was 20 years old again with like such like I'm a pretty laid. Hey, I'm human. Just because I practice yoga does not mean that I do not get angry. Yeah, you know, we've been living together without leaving the house for so long. Go ahead and drop the legs. And we were redoing the kitchen floor, and I was cleaning up the grout after him. And then he would take the grout thing and go over what I had just wiped. I'm like, can you not like do that? He's like, gosh, you are being really controlling right now. And I was like, you did not just say that. No, you didn't. It didn't hit him. It actually hit the wall and fell into the bucket. So
You got 2 points.
I promise I am a pretty gentle, laid back person, but you know. All right, so bring your arms overhead, stretch the legs, circle the ankles and the toes. Just take the longest stretch of the day. Take a big yawn even. And then we're gonna go into Shavasana, which is our corpse pose, our relaxation. It's the pose we do at the end of every single yoga class so we can absorb all of the hard work we've done into the body. If you have something you want to cover the face with or, you know, whatever, sometimes we use a blanket, but just get as comfortable as possible. Are you comfortable lying flat on your back? Perfect. Then go ahead and separate the ankles, let the feet hang out. We're going to have, it's like doing Tadasana laying down. We're going to have the arms away from the body, palms facing up towards the sky. Close the eyes if that's comfortable. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. So inhale as deep as you can. Fill the belly, fill the lungs. Separate the lips and exhale. Again, right away, inhale. Last one, gather up any stress or tension still floating in the body. Gather it, and then exhale. let it leave the body through the exhale. Begin to relax the muscles, softening the corners of the eyes and the corners of the mouth. Release the muscles in the back of the neck. And notice how that allows the shoulders, the shoulder blades, and the arms to all just release and soften. As you exhale, feel the ribs soften into the mat. Feel the navel fall to the back of the body. And feel an unraveling in the hip sockets, allowing the legs to release and let go. Doing a body scan from head to toe, being sure that you're not using any muscles whatsoever. Just completely taking advantage of letting go here. Allowing your breath to find that natural rhythm. Without forcing, almost as if the breath is breathing you.